Hello and welcome back to Nathan Plays Super Metroid. I'm Nathan, and this, of course, is Super Metroid. Joining me once again are Bentley the dog, who's really itching to play, and I don't think I'll be able to indulge him. Gideon Cat, who's sitting on one of the speakers and watching it all go down. And Lori the wife, who is eating a mango, whatever. I'm not sure if you can hear her from way over there. I don't think you can, but she says hello, I think. There we go. When last we met, we were way down in the sunken continent of Meridia. Apparently there's a few things left to get here, but I'm not sure how many. Oh, yeah, I remember what I'm going to do. Okay. Sudden flash of memory. Bentley, I'm not really in a great place where I can throw that to you right now. Kind of in the middle of something here. Previously on Super Metroid, we got the space jump, and we can now do flippies real quick like this. We can jump forever and ever. Amen. We have some Metroids here. Let's go way to the end of this whole thing, and there's really not a lot else out here that I am aware of. So we're just gonna leave. Through some waterfalls. I've been playing a lot of Bioshock lately. Bioshock 2 specifically. And this area kind of is reminding me of that right now with the water pouring in and the general sort of gloominess of it all. Yeah. Okay. We're actually looking in pretty good shape to start to head down to the the last of the Guardian creatures of that set in the statue, which, as you may or may not be able to guess, is the infamous Ridley, the one guy we haven't tackled yet. So I'm just going to be picking up a little bit more stuff, and we'll probably just head right down there after this. Ouch. I'm playing on with a different, a different controller than usual, so of course if anything goes wrong, I'm blaming that. Let's start this area here, and this might start to look a little bit familiar. Actually, that door was sealed off before. I think I came down here in a fit of confusion and wasn't able to go that way before, but now we have space jump, and you'll remember we went off to the left there and took a very long elevator shaft downwards. And now we're going to go up and around and get something that was previously unavailable to us. It's manta rays. You can see this door is flashing. Now, oh shoot. I did say a while back that the flashing doors usually mean you have to kill everything, but not always true. In this section, there's been a few flashing doors that are flashing now. They were sealed before, and now they're flashing just because we finished off the boss. So sometimes it's just conditional on something that you've done somewhere else. We have access to this area. Slimes. And I'm not sure if you can make out my dog on the recording, but he's the one that's occasionally grunting and kind of growling at me. Throw this ball. He thinks that that is way more fun than Super Metroid. Oh, how wrong. Short-sighted. How's that mango treating you? Still delicious. Okay. Well, here we come to these weird little sort of egg things. You never see them again in the game. There's a little pyramid of them here, and it takes a whole bunch of shots. They drop a lot, and they don't really do anything except sit there and be in the way. Ah! Room full of space pirates! Okay, these ones we'll find are impervious to anything we throw at them. But what's this? Maybe it will help. It's like a little, guy, and he's carrying, like a Yoshi, maybe kind of, and he's carrying a Pete on his back. It looks like he's got a Koopa face. I had a nightmare about that once. It's a plasma beam. Oh, I forgot to sing it. Oh my goodness. What does the plasma beam do? Modifies our shot again to sort of a green wavy line, and lo and behold, these guys are toast. Yes, the plasma beam is an upgrade both in terms of power and also being able to pass through enemies. Before we could, with the wave beam, we could shoot through walls, but now we can go straight through some of these guys. Sometimes the timing is a little bit funny on the space jump. Going through the space. Now they're back at these egg things. Look at this. One shot straight through. That should demonstrate to you quickly and clearly how powerful this beam actually is. This will be the last of our beam upgrades for the game. Actually, now if I hit the menu here, you can see we've got almost everything that there is to get. Missing a reserve tank. I have no idea if I'll come across it or not. I don't actually remember where they all are. I just seem to run into them. Of course, our charge beam attack still works when we're flipping around like that. Nice. Take the elevator again. Good on Facebook there? Oh yeah, I'm getting a nod. There's some good stuff. Stuff on the Facebook. Oh, some friends of ours had twins. Congratulations. You are who you are. This part was kind of a nightmare before, but now is substantially easier, although you do still have to be careful because this sand waterfall is pushing down on your jump arc and making it weird. Now, this part is doable without the space jump, but it just makes it quite a bit easier to do. So first of all, you might be tempted to just go through to the next room. I'm not going to do that. To do this, I'm going to drop it so that it collapses. Now, you can scoot through. Here's the tricky part, is that there's a whole, this is... a bunch of those guys. Hard to avoid sometimes, and they might just knock you back down. So if you're coming up here and I just want to start shooting or something, I got lucky with that one. So good for me. Did they name the twins Hugin and Munin, just like I wanted them to? Excellent. So here's this room. And you would see this thing. This is the only time you encounter one of these in the game. What does it do? Not much. Kind of walks around. You can shoot the wheels and it blows up. Well, what was the point of that? Well, maybe there is more to this. Once more with feeling, ladies and gentlemen. Drop a power bomb, and just before it gets there... Oh. Now, even if you had power bombed that wall after taking this thing out, you would find that these sand blocks are completely impenetrable. This is the only thing that can destroy it. So it's just a little kind of a puzzle to work out. I mean, you've spent most of the game habitually blowing up everything you come across, so of course this would be no different, and then you would think, well, why can't I get past these blocks? But it also means you have to wait for him. Kind of boring. Don't blow him up out of impatience, because then you're stuck again. Almost there. And now it's okay. Take the counterintuitive path, drop down there. Ooh, another power-up. What it is? I don't know, like a ball and a cup. It's a cup and ball. Spring ball. The spring ball. Does what it says on the tin. When you're in a ball, you can spring. You can hit the jump button. You got pretty good vert, actually. Kind of impressive. Remember if there's anything down there, so let's just check. No, it looks clean. Now instead of having to laboriously use bombs to bounce our way back out of situations, we can just jump. Very, very nice. This is another item that is completely optional to have. You can definitely get through the game without it. but it does make some parts of it substantially easier. I always used to just, like, I would come here before getting the space jump, and it's just a pain in the butt to try and get through that one block, jump from the sand straight up, and I don't know why I did that. I did it so many times. Terribly annoying. Ah, the folly of youth. You grow up, you mature, you wait until you get the space jump before you try jumping through narrow situations, right? I think I read that somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna try one time for that annoying power-up that I described before, and I'm not gonna get it. I feel pretty positive about that. Well, not with that attitude, you might be thinking at home, but really it's I don't know the exact place to jump, and oh shit, I can't even do it from the side anyway. Never mind. Back for it. One stinking missile power-up. It will not make or break our game. This is where you cut to later on, and I'm like one missile, or 5 missiles short of what I need to do. Comedy thing. Brick joke. Lori's just kind of nodding at me like I'm making sense right now. I know I'm not. Just don't worry about it. Okay. I think I'm doing this a little bit out of order from the way I usually do it, so I believe I can actually just go straight downstairs. Usually this is where I sort of do the big victory lap and go pick up all the power-ups that I've grabbed in previous videos already. But I prioritized better, so let's just... Can't think of a reason not to, except that it's dangerous. So had you been playing this for the first time, you would have probably come across this area a long time ago that was impassable, but intriguing. I bypassed it, I skipped it entirely, so we're gonna head down there now. Got so many bad boys. I think I must be filling up a reserve tank still, which is why I'm still picking up all these health power-ups. Why they're still dropping. Nothing. Oh, fun. Quick map check here. Oh yeah, okay. Back down through all these familiar areas. But as I said a long time ago, you do backtracking, but I mean I'm so much better equipped now that it hardly matters. Just kind of breeze through it. On those things. Nice. See ya. So before you can progress through this area that we're about to go through, all these things need to happen. You need to have, of course, a power bomb to open the door. And you need to have both the gravity and various suits, so now we can withstand the lava. And you need to have the space jump, because when you go all the way down this pit, there's no good way to get back up the other side. You even put up spikes to prevent you from doing any wall jump shenanigans. And this guy, I have to go in there too, because it's weird. It is weird, right? It looks weird. There we go. Yeah, definitely weird. We'll do a little save-o there. Down to Lower Norfair. The music takes an even more ominous and I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. But it's a hot area. You got the horrible lava there. Now that stuff we can't resist. If I fall on that, it will still hurt, unlike the stuff we just passed through. And on your map, this is still Norfair, even though it's connected. The music is different. Let's go. Oh, too fast. Why bother with platforming when you can just jump over it all? Well, let's just clear away some of the debris here. I think I can see something behind the bricks. And it's one of these guys. Well, we already learned what to do in this situation, so... let him clasp us for a moment. And there goes the nasty, nasty acid lava stuff. Drops us, and down we go. I thought that would work. It doesn't work. I'm embarrassed. Okay, well, first of all, you're like, oh, free missile power-up, but what have we learned about power-ups that are just sitting there in the open like that? Oh, yeah. This one's actually tricky to get because there is kind of a low ceiling here, so you have to time it. Ryan, I almost ran into it there. You see that? Well, down we go. Wow, the return of an old friend. Where is he? He's leveled up a little bit too. Now, if there is a better way to do this fight, I don't know it. I just kind of slug it out. You'd be inclined to try and use missiles like last time, but he dodges those. Chuck a super missile, and he grabs it and throws it back at you. How? What's the word? Incorrigible. Word? Might be a word. That's a word. Anyway, so as far as I'm aware, the best thing to do is just to charge your shot and just slug it out with the guy. I'm not even sure power bombs work, but they work too slowly. So a few shots, he's already starting to turn color. You can shoot those egg things that he launches for health. See, he actually hurts quite a bit. We've only been fighting a little while, and I'm down 2 energy tanks already. Be okay. Just a matter of time. And all of a sudden it's over, just like that. You think, man, how long is this gonna last? And then it ends. Just like high school. Something. One thing left to grab in here. So I need to do this, but... Drop a power bomb up there, and go take this. And one more power up. Screw attack. The screw attack. It modifies our flippiness into super electrical shiny flippiness. And as you might expect, this is incredibly deadly. There's a room here where you can kind of re-up on your supplies if you need to. Don't... Actually, energy... That's... I mean, I'm still right, but it's not the kind of room I was expecting. It was one of those ones with the monster generator. Let's go up. Screw attack also lets us bust through certain kinds of blocks. Those ones in particular that ordinarily you would have to bomb. But when you're like this, you can just rip right through them. So combine that, you have to nail the timing of the jumping. Look, these things that we couldn't shoot before, totally destructible. My goodness. Can nothing stop us? Yes, this door can. Still have to use a super missile. Bentley's doing sort of a victory lap here on the coffee table. He's been playing a bit of fetch with my wife. Now he's dropped it off at my feet again. Still busy, dude. Oh, I gotta go. But we know from earlier that the shaking and the lava rising means that we gotta get a move on. Fortunately, our screw attack is helping us out with that, and that stuff burns. We can also bust up some space pirates here if they would happen to arc there. That's kind of fun. Not the heads, though. We'll still stop this. Let's not lose our heads, though. Little Xeno Saga reference for you there. I think it's called something. Okay, now we fell a long way, and the water's coming up very quickly. Now you can't just go leaping way into the air because there's a great big thing that divides the room kind of in half. But you want to get to these platforms and then follow them up. So you can't even shoot these guys, but you can certainly jump on them. That one did. There we go. We escaped the terrible room of death. And we came here. Oh, what's this? Secret. By now the game is expecting you to be in like full secrets checking mode, like you're just obsessively scanning and bombing everything. They're not messing around anymore. Now it's a couple of shots, or it's one simple jump, but the jumps are hard to do in these narrow hallways. That's a downside. We are definitely going to grab this save point. Because we are coming up to, historically, one of the most difficult, or if not the most difficult, boss of the entire game. Possible exception, last boss, but I don't actually think so. I always had more trouble with this than I ever did with the final boss. This is a bit dangerous, but we are going to leap over and... Bella's there to take care of. Let's jump on. Okay, well that, I mean, looks fairly obvious down there, but we're just going to take a quick detour. Power bombs of debatable usefulness. Still, I suppose we need them to bust the statue open. Ride these nasty spiky elevators down. Is that blood on there? No. Jam. Yeah. Now we meet my favorite space pirates in the whole game. There's a lot of different space pirates, and they all have, some of them have different abilities, some not, but here we have the karate ones. First, you just avoid their stupid boomerang attacks. They're totally, everything will just bounce off of them until they kick. And for some reason, when they decide to kick, their guard goes down, and then you can usually just get them in a loop there. They seem more formidable, but they're actually really dumb. Drop a ton of power-ups. That's nice. Just two of them hanging out in this like security station here, I guess, because there's the monitors up there and that. Probably should have put some smarter guys on karate detail, or taught more than two of them to do karate. I don't know. I'm not the space pirate manager. I'm human resources or space pirate resources. So again, we're just gonna use our wicked screw attack space jump combination here to bypass a lot of this. We have an eyeball door, which means it's about to get serious. Now there were monster pipes back there to grind up for resources if we had trouble getting down here. Ah, my old friend. Let's do this. Again, this is not a battle that I do with anything resembling style or grace. It's just a big old slugfest. Just try and pump missiles into him as quickly and as often as possible. He does a bunch of attacks and grabs you and bounces around in his stupid tail. I don't know why a dragon who's all about flying around would choose to hang out in a limited vertical shaft, but whatever. This is his place, I guess. Ridley in Metroid 1, if you remember Fake Kraid from way back, they were about the same size. They're slightly larger than you, basically, and intimidating for the time, but now he's definitely leveled up in scariness. Get out of super missiles. Just start down the regular ones. I'm gonna get this done pretty soon. He's a nice bright shade of red. As you can see, without any good strategy, I'm down to like half my health already. I do have the reserve tanks just in case. Shouldn't need them. Okay. This is why it doesn't hurt to collect, even if the missiles don't seem terribly useful. Oh, there we go. That's done it. Well, right on. Finished our greatest and most amazing foe off. Since he stole the Metroid baby. Better be in here. And it's missing. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, before we leave, let's grab that. Consolation prize. So what was he guarding then? Nothing. Just hanging out here. Jerk. Misleading. But as you might have guessed by now, having finished all the major bosses in that statue set, it's time to head back there. And that's going to open up the way to the final area of the game. We're so close here, friends. Just grab a couple of extra missiles, you know. Oh, okay, they had 4 karate guys, I guess. Hooray. Hiya. Party. I don't know what exactly triggers them to do it. I just kind of hover around them until they decide to. I'm shooting them, I feel like helps, but I'm not sure. You definitely don't want to go forward far enough that you have to tangle with them both at the same time, because that is annoying. So try to limit your movements. There we go. I'm gonna do it right away. It's awfully nice of them. They do actually a decent amount of damage when they hit you, but still not very bright. Bit tricky. Getting back out of here without hitting on the spikes. So I am going to head back to that save point. It was just nearby, and then I believe we're going to call it a video, and it's entirely possible that next one will be our last one, depending on how long it takes me to get out of here. We might have to do it too. Or make an extra long episode. Let me know what you think. I'll have probably recorded it by the time you respond to, so never mind. But you can still let me know what you think in general. Feel free to leave comments. Whatever. Kind of nice. Great. Well, good work we did today, everybody. We're gonna save it here, call it a video, and as always, see you next mission. Sorry, I hope that saved me properly. Still going.